Here at the site of the future new Broncos Stadium, we are in Denver, Colorado, meaning the Denver Broncos are going to remain in Denver as it should be. That was priority number one for many fans in Broncos Country, was to keep the Denver Broncos, just like they have been since day one. Now, a big difference here is they are not at the same site as their current stadium. We'll show you how close they are to that old location in just a second, but let me introduce you to Burnham Yard, the future site of where the Denver Broncos will be. As you can tell, it's about a mile southwest of downtown, and it's an area that has a rich history and tradition, but as you can see right now, there's not a lot going on with it right now. There are some new buildings, I believe some workspaces, some future houses. You have the Buckhorn Exchange just on the other side of this, which is an old-time classic steakhouse here in Denver. I believe it has one of the longest liquor licenses here in Colorado as well. That's just on the other side of all this junk, and that's unfortunately what a lot of this area has kind of become. You have the light rail that runs through here right now. You have some old train tracks that run through here, and some current train tracks as well on the other side. And so that's going to be something that the Broncos in the city of Denver and Colorado have to work through about how do they keep the light rail running through here. We're just north right now of 6th Avenue. We're just south of Colfax. We're just east of I-25, and that's the area that the Broncos are going to be working with here. And to give you an idea of where we are and how close it is to the former stadium, that is in Power Field at Mile High, just about a mile away from here. So the Broncos are still going to be the same Broncos, just a mile this way. And in that shot that you just saw of in Power Field at Mile High is Denver Water. Denver Water, in part of this deal with the Broncos, they bought 25 acres from Denver Water in order to make this not just the future site of a stadium, but the future site of a new Denver, of a new community, of a new area where people not only watch football games and concerts and other sporting events and maybe even Super Bowls, but a place where people can live, where people can meet for an entire year, 365 days a year, and also where there'll be restaurants, where there'll be living spaces, maybe even some open spaces. One of the things that Kerry Walton-Penner said on the announcement date was that they don't want it to be a stadium with just a bunch of parking around it. They want this to be a space that is used by the community. That's why the Broncos identified this spot with a lot of land that they can use. And as you see, for being in close to downtown Denver, there's a lot of land that can be used that's not being used right now. So when you take a step back, you realize this is such a great location for the stadium to be. And the previous location, where in Power Field at Mile High is right now, there wasn't much room to build around it. And so that's why the Broncos chose this location. And with the light rail running right through, they might have to move it in order to build the stadium, but it's going to be great for light rail because it's going to run right by it. We'll see what they do with parking, but this entire space is going to be reimagined into hosting Broncos games, but there's also going to be a retractable roof. That's another key feature of this new stadium, a retractable roof, which is going to be able to open up for games. The Broncos are going to have real grass in their new stadium. That's key for player health. That's key for football. You're playing outside, you're playing on grass, so that retractable roof is going to allow you to have grass in there. On top of that, you're going to be able to host Super Bowls, host Final Fours, host concerts in the winter, and you're going to be able to do all of that inside or outside while also getting views of the downtown and the mountains that Colorado has to offer. They wanted to make sure that this stadium encompassed Colorado and encompassed Denver and didn't just lose that vibe. So that was a key part of the retractable stadium as well. And the other thing you need to know about the Broncos' new future stadium is it's not going to cost Denver residents anything. That's right. This is going to be a privately funded stadium by the Walton-Penner ownership group, which is so rare these days. In the past decade, 9 new stadiums have been built in the NFL. And of those 9 stadiums, It's cost taxpayers $6.5 billion. That's $750 million per stadium that each city has had to pay for in order to build a stadium. Not here in Denver. Instead of the Broncos asking taxpayers for nearly $1 billion, the Walton-Penner family is just going to pay for that out of their pocket, privately funded, meaning this is a huge win for Denver, it's a huge win for Colorado, and it's a huge win for Broncos and Broncos Country. This, in just 6 years, they want to open this in 2031 for the Broncos season, is going to be a completely revamped area to watch the Broncos win Super Bowls, maybe even in Denver.